here on the edge of Clarence Street with our train and bus spotting today, and of course we'll be making our way to the railway station very shortly, but let's get on with the video to start off, shall we? So of course we have got Alexander about 300 wide man, 18.240, number 22 745, turning in. We've got Alexander about 400 Scania, N230D, N250 UD 15355, Hamish McNair Templeton, the bus that I was on getting here. So we need to go across now. God blimey. This is taking a while. This is stupid. Run. Sorry, I made a judgment call because that shouldn't be taking that long to turn green. So yeah, Hamish McNair Templeton is the bus that I was on to get here. And then of course we got 2245 in the corporate library. There is another bus down there which was sister 22744, which of course I saw when we got up this bit there. But it looks like it's all Alexander Escobar 300 by man 18.24 but not for long, because we got a standard in bar 327 707. But of course it's paying into this into this bus stop here. It's driven by a driver that does give me a fist bump now and then, which is really nice. Fancy putting this thing over here. Now I'm having to go across the road stealth, like stealth. More or less like a spy. Having to go across that road just then. That van shouldn't be parked there because that is a corner. So yeah, continuing on from that little complaint about people foul parking. Yeah, so we got 22753 and 22744, and hello to Alexander Lazar, who has just joined as the first person on my X files. So we are, of course, getting close to where we have to cross over this road. So yeah, on this corner here we got Alexander Dennis and Varafund by Scania N250 UDs 15355 and 15351 Alex Parrington 15359, with obviously one of them being approximately 15 minutes late. Where it is. Hello to Charlie Musgrove. Thanks for subscribing. So that should mean that 15351 will be leaving very shortly, so I may as well wait here until it begins its departure. We also have Alexander Escobar 300s leaving, 22744 and 22753, but Her to ex-God's Assassin 420. And yes, I am a bus spotter and a dorso for trains as well. As I said, I really enjoyed. I'm a enthusiast on buses and trains alike. And one of the things is that I got the next Bus and Coach Week magazine this morning. So there's 2253. So with that said, what buses are Lightside Transport Hub on this cloudy morning that of course has been a little bit cooler, but of course is relief for everybody after hot weather this summer of late. Let's go look. So at this time there's not going to be a Flixbus just yet, but I know that a Flixbus Yutong will arrive soon. But I also saw that in Stand C yesterday there was a Irizar i6 that came from probably Somerset heading to Cardiff via Bristol and Gloucester, which is on this new 77 service. So we got Alexander Savar 400 by Scania N2 30D50 531. Homes on Stroud services. Alexander Savar 327 705. Alexander Savar Scania 15 734. And Alexander Savar 400 MMCs 15350 and 10752 right next door. The Go Ahead Pullham's bus is just arriving on 99, which is 371. So everybody who's watching, with all the buses now accounted for at this moment, let's head on to the railway station. So, of course, now heading to the railway station. Of course, well, of course, we always make sure that everything's safe. Do this safely. Hello to Mickey Hoskins, who's just arrived. My day has only just begun, of course. Aha! I wasn't looking there. Here was a green light. You go when it says green light and you stop when it says red light. Green light! Red light! So much like Squid Game, really, going across this road. 15350 is just left. And we'll of course see this busted cars before we get to the railway station. Got another Alexander Savar 400 MMC coming over for 10756. Just the bus to put your hands up for that. Hands together for. Then we also have an Alexander Savar 200 if you look behind the cars. In this way. And there goes 15350 on the way to Cheltenham, which that'll be changing routes on the 31st because switching some of the locations they'll go down. I'm now heading up to Gloucester railway station. So of course there's Alexander Savar 203 627. And you never know, when I get back round here, there's probably going to be a green Flixbus Yutong already in the transport hub. which won't be surprising. But here's the thing, is that this week it's more or less back to normal for trains, because I have seen Transport for Wales services get back up and running. So with the services to Nottingham. And I think our first train's about to leave, so we need to use a little bit of speed. But not much speed. There it goes. The train is leaving. I just about caught it. It's class 802. This one. 802.015. Wait. Oh wow, so because that train has left, there's another train to Nottingham using the same platform coming, but the thing is it's delayed until 9:29. No, 9:28. But we will see by the screen. No, I am not a football fan. I never was and I never will be. So sorry. As I said, I'm more into trains, buses, gaming, DJing, dancing, singing. Oh, there's two trains that are actually coming to Worcester, Foregate Street 1 calling. See if there's any trains starting to show up. At the moment, it's just that Class 800 leaving. That's really cool. But of course, I do things like Bus Simulator, Train Simulator, Forza Horizons, and of course some of your games like Cycling All Stars Racing Transformed, Wipeout, Split Second, and of course Crash Team Racing. Oh, here we go. There's here comes the next train. The next train is the cross-country one that's going to arrive first. So keep watch, because here it comes. So everybody put your hands together for 170, 109. Right, is the other shape coming? No. I don't see the shape for the Worcester Foregate Street train. It's supposed to be arriving to platform 4, so that one's probably facing a slight delay. But what we're going to do, because of the timing, we're going to stick around and we're actually just going to watch the train depart from this area. Because it's probably best that way, if there's a Worcester Foregate Street train arriving, because I'll be able to see it. So yeah, throughout the past weeks, there have been no cross-country services to Cardiff Central. They all terminated here at Gloucester. No, did Gloucester to Nottingham. I see the shape of the Worcester Foregate Street train now. So that's where I am. No problems, Mickey Hoskins. Or Mikey Hoskins, however you want to be said. If it was Doctor Who, he would say Mickey. Right. So yeah, there's another train coming, which is the service to Worcester Foregate Street. It looks like a 5-coach Class 800 or 802 set. So everybody watching, you've got to put your hands together for whatever this Class 800 or 802's number is. But of course it's coming in at a slower speed because it's having to traverse those lines into platform 4. $800,003 Queen Victoria. Not Queen Victoria. That's the train that's of course coming in. But saying that, it's only on the one side. Its second side is to our Queen Elizabeth II, who recently passed away back a couple of years ago. It's too bad that the Blackpink girls didn't see her when they got that COP26. They had to go through and other award tribute things because I believe that they would have liked Queen Elizabeth like they liked Charles III. But yeah, why I'm saying this is because I've got a crush on those Blackpink girls myself. I've got 3 posters of them right in my room. One of them I made myself. Hello to Ashley Watts. Yes, I am spotting trains there this morning as well as buses. Of course, there was a little bit of buses featured earlier, but at the moment I'm needing to spot trains because the thing is that there's multiple trains. Is because things are now back to normal. So I said about talk about buses, trains. Of course, this is Gloucester Station, by the way, Ashley. Gloucester Station. Hello to Herbert Hengsberger as well. Let's see. Don't see the train, but it'll probably be a Class 158. But this would be the service from Worcester Foregate Street. Hello to Angela Carroll as well. Just checking. Yeah, I see a shape is Class 158. Which, to be fair, isn't really that surprising. It is a great diesel multiple unit. As if you follow my model railway department, or subsidy of my X-Files, you would be able to see that I own a Class 158 in double O gauge model form. So the train coming is 158 750. Of course, the model train that I've got is actually 158 766, and I have been on it. Oh, Look, signs are good, and off goes the 800 003 to Worcester. Off it goes. Would be good if actually these are used on the Metro West stuff, because when the Class 175s enter active service in Cornwall, because more, it will have more capacity for services, those kind of type of services. And yeah, I know that'll displace more DMUs to be used around the Bristol, Devon and Hampshire area. Even those coaches could be strengthened on trains. So yeah, 158, 750 is the next departure in 3 minutes time. So the next train would be then, the final train of this morning is going to be, looks like, did that say 9:49? Yeah, 9:49 to Cardiff Central, which of course is usually a Transport for Wales service. So I said, it's good that the trains are now back to normal, because next week it's supposed to be another blockade between Gloucester and Swindon due to works on the Kemble line for a week. Oh yeah, so your trains would be things like First Haul trains and maybe Grand Central trains and Northern trains. But saying that, your trains would be really decent as well. As I said, the ones that are down here where I live is Great Western Railway, but you also get cross country and Transport for Wales diverge here. And as I said, I love trains so much that I've of course own a model railway that has had a good, I don't know, decades worth of train equipment. And I'm still growing with some of my stuff. Of course, trains did come and go. Because of course, maybe in the future I'll show the models that I used to have in the years that, of course, were withdrawn and replaced, put through part exchange of the Cheltenham Model Centre and replaced for something new at the time. Oh, and look at that. That's their new cafe now. It's now known as a Cafe Local. It used to be a pumpkin, but after years of being a pumpkin, they've decided to replace it with a Cafe Local, which is really interesting. Oh, here we go. And Class 158 is shutting its doors. And also hello to Atla Fonte 8 as well. That Bradley. Here we go. I don't know, I've always really liked trains since I was a child. I used to have Thomas Tomey battery powered trains. But then when I grew, of course a lot later on in a bit more, and I used to make really big layouts that actually went round the living room, and I also did the same kind of thing at my nanny and grandpa's who live in the Cinderford area. But tell you now that since then, no, all the way back when I started to get older, of course, my parents said I was getting too old for it, and with that being said, my dad got me into Hornby, and my first ever train was actually a Virgin Trains high-speed train, which of course had 2 coaches, but it didn't last long. It almost had a tiny little small fire after, and it caught fire. It was second-hand from probably from somebody from eBay. There's of course the train departures there, so we need to go move on. And the other one was the City Industrial, which of course had a little pug class locomotive with a small coach and a few wagons. That's how it all started. Then of course it went on to Virgin Voyagers, 3 coach pack anyways, and of course it was my longest lasting diesel multiple unit, but the thing is it actually started to go a little bit downhill because it got bashed and a little bit damaged, and then of course the motor felt like it was starting to seize up a little, it was jerking. Then finally, of course, the Gloucester Class 66, I want to say. Of course, it was a nice train by Batman, but because it was a little bit earlier on, it didn't have very good traction on it. Because when I of course, withdrawn it, and of course, a lot later I got 66711 cents, I could tell the difference. Sense was more powerful with its tractive effort, allowing me to haul heavier trains than the Gloucester version. As I said, I returned Gloucester to my model railway back in 2024 in the shape of 7811, but of course I did used to have a Freightliner Class 70 as well, but of course that got withdrawn years ago. The tractive effort is all right on the Gloucester one, but it definitely doesn't like using those Hatton's FEA wagons. The good thing is with the Class 66s nowadays, is that I'm of course getting the Cure scale versions, and they like any kind of truck and any kind of haulage right behind it. But as I said, I'm of course waiting for my next one during Halloween, which is a low emission variant 66724 Drax power station. Of course, down there you can just see Alexander Savara 300s leave. So got 27778 as well. It's going right up towards the top there. There it is. It's one of those new livered ones. Don't know which class 170 this is. This could be 170, 101, just like previous time, or they could have actually got another 3 coach one that's already done up. It looks like there's also more train spotters on the other side. So, here it comes. Yeah, it is 170, 101. So they haven't been repainting any others just yet, which is a little bit of a shame, really. I know did a couple of 2 coach trains, but they haven't, or by class 170s, 170, 112 and 13 I think it was. But yeah, they haven't really got any other trains. The Transport for Wales service is late. Not surprising. And then of course you've got all the others. There must have been a bit of a capacity restraint or signal problem. Maybe, well, I wouldn't say signal problem. I think it's just capacity constraint down the line. Just about seeing Alexander Silva 300. So over here you'll get a good view of 170, 101 just about. It's just there and it will be leaving in just a minute actually. But it looks like somebody has just blocked my passage with a bicycle, so I need to get myself into position. Here it goes. So yeah, that next train's at 9:54, so the thing is, because I'm supposed to be somewhere else, I think that's going to have to more or less be a miss for that train. Hopefully we'll get a Transport for Wales service later, because it'll then form the service to Cheltenham Spa, which of course more or less comes just before the Great Western Railway to Cheltenham Spa. So, and of course that might have a little knock-on delay if it's approximately 5 minutes late. But of course there's the final look, the screen all the way from departures from the 9:49 to Cardiff Central to the 11:40 to Bristol, which of course, as I said, there'll be more trains later. As I said, there'll be services to London Paddington, Cheltenham Spa, Cardiff Central, and of course Worcester Foregate Street. So we will probably see 4 arrivals and departures of trains. Well, 3 of the trains. So we'll see arrival and departures. I don't know if, because platform 1 is a little bit far off mark with that. Down there is the final buses leaving. Alexander Escobar followed by Scania 1571. Alexander Escobar 400C 1056. There's also Alexander Escobar 203 7326. Doing number 13s. And from the looks of it, if we look down there are no other buses to report. So that about wraps it up for the morning session, and as I said, I'll be back for the afternoon session. So of course that will commence at 12:05 and finish after the sometime after the Worcester Foregate Street departs, and of course I go through the transport hub for the final round of looking down there and probably go up Clarence Street maybe, I don't know. Yeah. But of course, with that said, thank you for watching my X-Files and supporting this special extended morning session, and I will see you later at 12:05. Slugheads.